These are the 10 drivers whose legendary moments defined Formula One. I'm fired up, you're fired up, and we're doing this as an 8-minute countdown. Let's go. Today we race through history, adrenaline, and moments that rewired the sport forever. I want you to feel the roar of the engines, the nerves before a qualifying lap, and the weight of a championship-deciding corner. This list isn't just about trophies. It's about risk, innovation, performances that made every fan hold their breath. We're counting down from 10 to the most iconic. Stick around. Number 1 is the single most iconic F1 driver in history. Jim Clark arrived in the 1960s like a force of nature. Effortless, surgical, terrifyingly fast. When he slipped on a helmet and climbed into a Lotus, the car and driver felt inseparable, like two parts of a single instrument built for perfection. His pace in that era wasn't just quick, it rewrote what we thought possible for a driver's touch and rhythm. Clark won 2 world championships, but numbers don't capture how he dominated circuits with smoothness and total commitment. Lap after lap, he made pace look easy, and that ease masked an intense focus and genius at reading a car's limits. When he was on a charge, rivals often watched the rear of his car disappear down the straight. Beyond wins and poles, Clark's legacy is pure driving poetry, the kind that inspires engineers, young racers, and fans decades later. He defined a period where driver instinct and mechanical simplicity met in near-perfect harmony. Chapter 4. Niki Lauda was the embodiment of a technical mind matched with indomitable will. A champion in the 1970s, analytical precision, ruthless consistency, and then survived one of the sport's most horrific crashes at the Nürburgring. His comeback from that near-fatal fire wasn't just courageous. It was a message that grit can rival talent. Lauda's understanding of car behavior and setup was ahead of its time. He'd strip issues down to root causes, work with engineers like a co-designer, extracting performance by logic and relentless testing. That approach brought championships and respect from the paddock's smartest people. His return to racing weeks after the crash is the stuff of legend, scarred, determined, sharper than ever. It changed how fans thought about bravery, recovery, the human side of motorsport. Lauda didn't just chase wins, he redefined what a champion's mindset could be. Niki's career blends technical brilliance, brutal honesty, an unforgettable story of survival. And it helped turn F1 into a sport where intellect and courage both matter. Chapter 5. Sebastian Vettel dominated an era raw speed strategic brilliance. 4 consecutive world championships with Red Bull showcased a driver who could extract performance from car and team in perfect harmony. He wasn't just fast. He engineered races, managed tires, executed like a mature champion. Vettel's record-setting run illustrated what a well-built team and a hungry driver can achieve when aligned. He led by example, often carried the strategic load during races, making complex championship runs look seamless, passionate, reflective, playful, winning fans worldwide. Juan Manuel Fangio dominated the 1950s like no other driver, claiming 5 world championships across multiple teams, an era when reliability, talent, and bravery defined greatness. Driving for different manufacturers and winning with them elevated Fangio from champion to cultural icon. He mastered cars, circuits, and competition when motor racing was a raw test of man and machine. Fangio's ability to win in different machinery showcased versatility rarely seen in any sport. He adapted fast, understood mechanical limits, and raced with a daring that thrilled the era's crowds, Each victory wasn't just a result, it was proof of a driver's ability to dominate across conditions and teammates. His legacy endures because he set standards when Formula One was still finding its identity. Fangio's name is still invoked as the benchmark for purity of driving, competitive spirit, and championship excellence. Generations study his races to understand how champions are made. Put simply, Fangio is the origin story for modern greatness, a foundational legend upon which every later hero built, truly. Lewis Hamilton represents modern Formula One dominance, raw pace, relentless consistency, record-equaling championships. He matched and then pushed the sport's boundaries. Wins, poles, hunger and professionalism that set new standards, qualifying craft, racecraft under pressure, beyond statistics, bringing F1 into a broader cultural conversation, diversity advocacy, environmental awareness, social issues, legacy amplified off the track, new audiences drawn in, tire management, timing, split-second decisions, forcing rivals into mistakes, punishing openings with clinical efficiency, shaped team strategies, drew global attention. Near the top for transforming contemporary racing performance and broadening the sport's cultural footprint. His name is inseparable from 21st century F1. Michael Schumacher changed the game with 7 world championships and a transformative era at Ferrari. He didn't just win races, he built a team around relentless excellence and engineering obsession. Schumacher's work ethic pushed engineers and teammates to their limits and cultivated a dynasty that dominated an entire decade. Schumacher's record seemed unassailable for years. Wins, fastest laps, and intimidating presence that made rivals plan entire seasons around matching him. He combined aggressive racing with an unmatched ability to extract performance under pressure and in adverse conditions. That ferocity often turned races into masterclasses of will. His influence stretched beyond the track. Training methods, simulator work, a mentality of continuous improvement became benchmarks. Teams observed and emulated the Schumacher model, forever changing how champions are made. The sport evolved because he demanded more from every component of a racing program. Michael sits at number 2 because he rewired what success looked like, a blueprint for building not just a champion, but a winning empire. Ayrton Senna is the heart-aching, goosebump-giving answer to who is the most iconic F1 driver. 3 world championships only begin to tell the story. Senna's qualifying speed was otherworldly. He found grip and commitment where others found excuses. On a single lap, he could transmogrify a mediocre car into a rocket with sheer will and precision. Wet weather performances are where Senna became myth. Those laps weren't just fast, they were spiritual, moments that left teammates, rivals, and fans in stunned silence. He is number 1 because he didn't just win. He transcended the sport and became its soulful emblem, the most iconic driver Formula One has ever seen.